Okay, so tonight we're starting off video homework. Again, we're going to try it again. We're working on Chapter 2, 2.1, first lesson, and we're working with multiplication comparisons. Our lesson objective is that we're going to be able to interpret a multiplication equation as a comparison between two numbers. Some vocabulary you need to know this chapter, not necessarily for this lesson, but for the entire chapter, are these three things. Distributive property. Distributive property states that you can multiply a sum, which is after the equal sign, by a number and get the same result as multiplying each add-in, which is each number that is in that equation, by the number and then adding the product. A whole lot of mess here you probably don't understand, so just go ahead and leave a space underneath it, and as we go along in the chapter, we'll explain that more and give examples. Partial product is a method of multiplying in which the ones, tens, hundreds, and so on are multiplied separately, and then the products are added together. Again, this is something else that we're going to be working on later in the chapter, so just write the definition down and the word down and leave a space for an example later on. And factor. A factor is a number that is multiplied by another number. 2 times 3. 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, because they're multiplied by each other. All right, we're going to be using modeling, bar modeling, to show multiplication comparisons in this lesson. I showed you a little bit about bar modeling last chapter. We didn't get to play with it too much in what we were doing, but we're going to be able to use it a lot more now. Our first problem is Carly has 9 pennies. Jack has 4 times as many pennies as Carly. So first of all, let's circle the information that's important. Carly has 9 pennies. Jack has 4 times as many pennies as Carly. How many pennies does Jack have? Tells us here to use a model to show comparison and then record the equation before we solve it. All right, so here we got Carly and we got Jack. And it says here that Carly has 9 pennies. Okay. It also says that Jack has 4 times as many pennies as Carly. So if I was using boxes of pennies, okay, let's say we have a box and it's full of 9 pennies for Carly, and Jack has 4 times as many pennies as Carly. How many boxes am I going to put for Jack? Good, we're going to put 4. And how many pennies are in each one of those boxes? Okay, good, 9 pennies in each of these boxes. Now, some of you might be able to look at this and say, oh, I get it. I know what multiplication problem this is, but some of you may not. We got to go back to figuring out what exactly we're trying to solve. We're trying to solve how many pennies does Jack have. Okay, so we're going to be looking here at Jack's boxes. All right, so Jack's boxes, he's got 4 boxes with 9 pennies in each box. What am I going to do with that? I've got 4 and 9. What do I do with it? Do I add it? Do I subtract it? Do I multiply it? Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. We're working with multiplication. So I'm going to multiply. And you guys are awesome 4th graders, so you guys all know that 4 times 9 is 36. But if you don't, use the 9's trick on your hands. 4 times 9 is 36. This is our equation, and our answer is 36. So Jack has 36 pennies. All right, here's another one. Miguel has 3 times as many rabbits as Sarah. Miguel has 6 rabbits. How many rabbits does Sarah have? Here's another model. So we're going to have Miguel here and Sarah here. We know that Miguel has 3 times as many rabbits as Sarah, so we can probably put how many boxes here? Let's give one to Sarah. Make them equal. But then Miguel has 3 times as many. So I'm going to put a total of 3 boxes. All right, so there's our model. Okay, we don't know how many Sarah has, but we do know that all of these put together, if we were to take all of these and add them together, that they would be 6. How do we know that? How do we know that? Well, we know that because right here it says Miguel has 6 rabbits. So even though he has 3 times as many rabbits as Sarah, he still has only 6 rabbits. Okay? So you might be asking yourself, Ms. Fernley, what the heck is the n doing in the box? I don't understand what the n is in the box. That is called a variable. And a variable is just a placeholder. It just holds the place for a number. Okay? So once we figure out what that number n is, we can just replace that n with whatever number it is. All right, so as an equation, we have a number here. This is our total. Okay, and our total always goes on one side of the equal sign. So 6 equals. And then we have how many boxes here for Miguel? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 boxes for Miguel. We don't know what to times it by, right? Yet, because we don't know how many are in each of those boxes. Okay, so the easiest way to figure that out is to look at this, and you can either say 6 divided by 3 is 2, or you may know that 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, just another way of saying it. Don't get confused by the letters in equations. They're just placeholders. All right, so a comparison sentence and equation. What's the difference? We have a comparison sentence, and you're going to see this on your homework, and an equation. What is the difference? Well, a comparison sentence uses words. Okay? So for instance, a comparison sentence for 8 times 5 equals 40 could be written as 8 times, which equals multiplication, right? Anytime you see that word times, it's multiplication. As many as 5 is, which is the same thing as an equal sign, is 40. So 8 times 5 is 40. An equation is the opposite. An equation is a number sentence with an equal sign. So in the example above, this right here, 8 times 5 is 40, is in fact the equation. Okay? If you need to back this video up and rewatch that so you can understand the difference, then please do so, because it's very important that you know the difference between a comparison sentence and an equation. All right, so let's practice. Let's show a model, write an equation, and then solve these. Problem is there are 8 students in the art club. Go ahead and make our A here for art club. There are 3 times as many students, horrible circles, sorry, in chorus. How many students are in chorus? Okay, so they want to figure out how many students are in chorus. So the first thing we need to do is draw our models, right? All right, so we got 3 times as many. So I'm going to take and draw my C for chorus. And chorus has how many boxes? Chorus has 3 boxes. So let's go ahead and put 3 boxes here. Oops. And what is the number inside the box? How many students are in this box? Good, it tells us right here. 8 students. So 8 students in the art club. That means there's got to be 8 students in each of these boxes. All right, so what is our equation then? We got our model, now we need an equation. We want to try to find out what the chorus is. So we got to go n, right, because we don't know what the chorus is, so we're just going to put that in the placeholder. N is 3 boxes times 8 students in each box. And what is my answer? N equals 24. 24 students are in chorus. Okay, let's look at another one. All right, 6 times as many as 2 is 12. 6 times as many as 2 is 12. So the first thing we want to do is show a model, right? First thing we want to do is show a model. But what do we do with all these numbers? I don't know what to do with, there's 3 numbers there. I'm going to start with what I know as my equal sign, right? My total. I'm going to go with my total. So my total is going to be 12. And let's see how many boxes of 2 I can do to get to 12. Okay, so even if I didn't know that 6 times 2 is 12, I can still do boxes of 2. All right, so if I have 2 in each of these boxes, Okay, just keep that in mind as I'm putting the boxes out. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. How many total boxes do we have here? Okay, 6 times as many as 2 is 12. So our equation then would be 6 times 2 equals 12. All right, 20 is 4 times as many as 5. So I know that 20 is my total. Okay, so I want to get with these numbers 4 and 5 to get to 20. My easiest way to do that is to skip count by 5s, right? Because we all know how to skip count by 5s really easily. So I either know that I'm going to need 4 boxes because I know my multiplication, or I'm going to skip count 5, 10, 15, and 20. How many boxes of 5 do I have? I have 1 that I've already written, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 5 equals 20. All right, now they want us to write comparison sentence for these equations. Remember, comparison sentences uses words such as times, as many as, and is, okay? So I have 18 equals 9 times 2. So here I have my is, and remember my is always around the equal sign. It is the equal sign, okay? So this is the same as this. So I know my 18 is going to go somewhere. Is it going to go here or is it going to go here? Blank is 18 times as many. No, I'm going to go 18 because that's my biggest number. 18 is blank times as many as, blank times as many as. Okay. So I'm going to go is 9 times as many as 2. Either way you do it is fine. If you go 2 times as many as 9, it all comes out to be the same total. All right, 8 times 4 is 32. So blank times as many as blank is. Oh, here it is again. Is tells me to equal. Okay, so I'm going to put my 32 here, right? Because 32 is on my other side of my equal sign. And blank times as many as is 32. So I'm going to go 8 times as many as 4 is 32. All right. Here's your homework for tonight. I'm only going to do number 4 with you. And we'll do number 7 and number 10. Okay, you will do the rest on your own. So 48 equals 8 times 6. Again, so I'm going to make a comparison sentence. Right? So here I have my is, so that's my equal sign. So I'm going to go 48 is, and I'm just going to follow it through, 8 times as many as 6. All right? This one, they want us to write an equation. 3 times as many as 5 is 15. Here's my is, right? Easiest thing to look for. So I know is going to equal. So let's put 15 on the other side of that equal sign. So 3 times, that tells me to do my multiplication sign. And 5. And then here's my is. So we got 5 times, which tells me to do the multiplication sign. As many as 6 is tells me to do my equal sign, and 30. All right, so you guys are going to do the rest of your practice book page. You guys can do those, it's fine. And your WSQ for tonight, in your notes, on that piece of paper that you're doing your notes on, you're going to write your own equation, show it as a comparison sentence, and then model it. So I want 3 things from you. I want you to write the equation. That could be 8 times 4 is 32. Then you're going to show it as a comparison sentence, and then you're going to model that equation using bar modeling. Also, create a problem for a friend to solve, and finish your practice book. We'll see you in the morning.